just don't see it any other way. I'm too weak to make the climb. I need a miracle this time. That's when.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of Afternoon Drive Home on IC in Christ Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications. Now, I haven't told Tonya about this yet, but Tonya, we're now worldwide. We're on Abundant TV, which is found on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. So we're really, really happy to have that platform. And thanks to all of our listeners for helping make this happen. Our sponsors are loving it. We have a lot, Tonya, we have a lot of local sponsors, and they're saying, you mean it's possible I'm going to get something worldwide? Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah, so singer-songwriter Tonya Rose is with me right now, and I've met Tonya, and we've had several interviews. And so I was really anxious to get you on the show today. And I know you guys have some great messages out there. And so you were telling me you've been with your nieces at camp.
Well, I'm down here in North Carolina. I'm originally from Eastern North Carolina, a little town called Pinetown, and nobody's ever heard of it.
I know where it is.
Well, you and me. That's
Charlotte's my old stomping.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I'm down near East Carolina University, or my parents are. So I'm down here visiting my family for a little bit. Anytime I get a break, I want to be down here with family because I don't want to have regrets one day. So, but I decided to take my 3 little nieces. And when I say little, I mean 2 12-year-olds and a 14-year-old to my mom and dad's camper. And we stayed at the campground last night. And at 2:00 this morning, they were still up. So this morning I'm running on coffee and Jesus.
There you go. You got it. That's the only way you're going to make it today.
I'm telling you. Finally, I just said, y'all, if you burn the place down, just wake me up and get me out. I'm going to bed.
And I will say this, Jesus does come first, but coffee comes a real strong, really close second, like really close.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
They go hand in hand.
So, well, your career has always been doing very well. So, and our listeners love you. I wanted to mention this. You can, if you would like to request a song, our radio station is listener driven, and that's just all there is to it. They're the boss of us. They tell us what to do. So you can go to the website, icradio.media, and it's free to do. Now, you can only do 2 an hour, okay? So you request an hour, and then you request any song you'd like, and we don't have to do anything. Tonya, one lady said, well, Donna, I don't want to put any extra effort on you. And I said, no, it's not really. You're actually saving us some time because it's automated.
Yeah.
And
automatic or whatever.
It goes right in there,
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
So anyway, you've been doing this a lot.
Well, thank you. And if they pick the songs, that gives you a little bit of a break, You just got to find them and put them in there, right?
Yeah, I don't have to do that. It just goes into a library section and just does it online. It's automated.
Well, that's awesome. Well, keep calling and requesting, y'all.
Yeah, keep it up. And I'm one of those I actually like. A lot of folks say computer's going to take over the world and all this stuff. I don't think so, because I make too many mistakes on the computer myself. I can really mess it up, and I don't think they're the Antichrist. That's going to be something else.
Well, I've heard several sides of that, but I know personally that without it, you couldn't spread what we do as ministers of music, and that's what I consider myself. I don't consider myself an artist. I consider myself a minister of God's music and word, and we couldn't do and reach the people that we reach without this. So
I say get the ball and run with it.
Yeah. I agree with you. So you're making girl.
Oh yeah. No, you've got several new projects that you're working on right now. So are there any you can talk to us about, or would you have to kill us if you told us?
Oh no, I'm an open book, y'all. So right now we've got Devil Shut Up that's out to radio. Not Shut Up, Devil Give Up. Sometimes I want to tell him to shut up. Devil Give Up out to radio right now, and for you guys that know the East Ridge Boys, they are singing on that with me. And that song came from a place where I actually was having a conversation in my restroom at home, coming off of an amazing weekend. I had gone out to do a date out in Ohio, and I was just I was just ecstatic because I've always been a fan of Selah, and here I am getting an opportunity to minister to people with them. And I heard this little voice say, "Why are you so excited? Why are you so excited? You're not as good as them. You will never be as good as them. You don't sound as good as them. And actually, you were probably a last option to go out with them because they couldn't find anybody else." And I knew immediately that that was Satan. And I just stood in my bathroom and I said, "Devil, just give up, give up." Whatever the reasons, I was there for a good one. And so I just happened to have a writing appointment that day with my buddy Mark Narmore. So I drove into Nashville and I said, "Mark, I don't know what you were thinking about writing today, but people need to hear this. People need to know how much power they have in the name of Jesus, and how much power they have over evil when they speak his name." And we actually say in the song, you've got the power to do whatever. You just got to tell Satan to get out of here in Jesus' name. So that's what's out to radio right now. And we wanted to make it fun and exciting. We didn't want to have like a devil give up. Nothing wrong with that. But
Yeah, but you sound defeated when you do it that way.
yeah,
It's
it's kind of like, devil give up. I wanted to say, no, devil give up. You're losing. We know how this ends. It's tough right now, but we know how it ends. So why don't you just go somewhere else? So that's what's out to radio right now. And then what's coming is a song that Jessica Horton and I wrote. Y'all are familiar with Miss Jessica Horton. And it's called From the Mountaintop, and you should be getting that pretty soon here. And it just talks about when the valleys are low and the heartaches are real. We don't understand it, but from the mountaintop, we see it. We see why everything was the way it was. So that's what's coming up. And I'm working on 3 different projects right now. I'm working on a hymns project, a worship project, and then just another Tonya Rose project. And that all stems from COVID, because being in lockdown for so long, I just wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote. And I got a video coming out too for an old hymn called "Come Thou Fount of Many Blessings." But I rewrote it a little bit, not the lyrics, just the melody, and made it a little bit more, not that there was anything wrong with the original, but I think sometimes if we can just shake it up a little bit, it brings new life to those old hymns, and maybe some of the younger folks out there will go, "Oh my gosh." As a matter of fact, I sang it in church Sunday at my mom and dad's church, and I sat back down, and my dad's gonna kill me for saying this. He said, "Did you write that?" I said, "No, baby."
Dad.
No, daddy. I said, "It's number 2 in the hymn." Look it up. So, but it sounded so different. The words are the same. "Come thou fount of many blessings," but it's just a little bit different. So we got a video coming out for that here shortly, and just all kinds of crazy things going on.
Well, that's good.
And traveling and all this kind of stuff. So,
well, how's it hurting you or is it hurting you at the gas pump? Now, it's going down a little bit.
It is going down a little bit, and you know what? You have to be conscientious of it, because it's got to make sense. But we have not run into a situation yet where God hasn't provided us what we needed to get where we're going. So, and until that happens, we'll keep going. And somebody always comes through, and well, we know who comes through, but he uses other people, and there's always somebody there to help us get from A to B to C, wherever we need to go. So,
I mean, it always does. I mean, it never fails. I remember how devastated I was when COVID hit, because I'm like you. I'm a people person. I want to be out in the middle of everybody, and so we had to be so secluded. And then I have asthma, so I had to not hang out with anybody. And so actually it wound up, all things said, it wound up being the best thing that could have happened to my show and this radio station. So
yep, I started my Thursday night lives during COVID because I needed some way to reach out and continue to do what I do, which is share music and testimony and stuff like that. I did find myself during COVID, Donna, retreating a little bit, and I know for a lot of people that became really easy. It became a safe place not to have to be out and stuff like that. So I try to encourage people, it's okay hang out at home, but God created us to be around people and among people and fellowship with people. So as comfortable as you get in that little, your little home and your little shell and your little safe place, people need to get out and be among other people.
I think so too. And, like churches, and it was convenient for a while, to do Facebook Live at church and all that stuff had its place. But there's nothing like being there in the midst of everybody, hanging, hugging. We're a hugging bunch.
Yeah,
So
we are.
I think that hurt me more than anything. I couldn't hug you.
I know. It was terrible, but you know what? Hopefully that's behind us. And until the next thing comes around, we just need to keep moving forward.
I think that we learned a lot from it, and I think it'll help us and it will. There will be something else. Satan's always going to throw something at us, but I think it helped us to kind of know what to do next time around.
I think you're right.
Yeah, and then that way we can just trod right on,
Yeah, and that's nothing against folks that have, secondary health issues that don't feel there's nothing. I mean, that's fine. I'm not saying get out and risk your health. I'm just saying, if you get to a point where you're too comfortable being at home all the time, maybe you need to go out to a grocery store or something. So,
and that's what parks are for.
They're wide open spaces.
Get out there and breathe that fresh air.
Right. That's right. Go fishing. I went fishing yesterday, and it was good for my soul.
Oh, it is. You got to come over to the house here. We have a farm, 38 acres with a big pond.
My gosh, just
fish. You got to come fish.
An invite. I'll be there.
And they bite too. They really do. And they think they're all. Now we treat them like they're pets. And actually we have bees here too, so you can hang out with the bees. You can learn a lot from the bees.
Yeah, just make sure I have a suit on.
No, we don't even wear a suit. We just go out there.
Oh, I would have to wear a suit. I would lose my mind. I'm sorry.
They'll know. If you like animals, they just know. But people are beginning to be a little bit more self-sufficient. I think that's a good thing.
I think it is too.
So it's not rely on other things.
Yeah, I think there's probably a lot more gardens this year than there was before 2020.
Yeah.
And gardens are sold too.
Yeah, that's the thing to do. Now, how could you possibly you can have a garden. Did you know that? On the road, you could actually have a garden.
Oh, like a little, like
this tiny little, which I'm giving you ideas. So you can get these tiny little greenhouses and just let it set in the window.
Oh, yeah. My husband's going to kill you.
I know. I'm feeding you with ideas. But
nothing else is going to fit in this vehicle, Tonya, but I got to bring my squash. Hold on.
But the maters, we got to have maters.
Yeah, you got to have those maters.
So where are you traveling now most of the country? Are you pretty much over again?
Well, this coming weekend, Thursday, I'm going to be in Atlanta with Josh and Ashley Franks. We're going to be recording with them, their television show, the Josh and Ashley Franks show. And then we'll leave from there. And when I say we, I mean me and my husband, because this is our ministry together. He drives, does the sound, sets up, breaks down. It's a team effort. And then we'll leave from Georgia and go to Alabama. We're going to be singing at a couple of churches with One Identity. And if you're not sure what One Identity is, it's myself and Lance Driscoll and Jessica Horton. We have gotten a few select dates together for this year, where we.
Now let me know of those, because I'm in North Alabama. I'm just about.
Oh, okay.
I'm like 40 minutes away from Huntsville.
Okay, we're going to be right outside of Birmingham. But I'll let you know what it is. But it's 3 artists, 3 ministries, one. I can't even think what it is now. Mm-hmm. One Identity. This is the name of the group. Oh my gosh! I need some. These 2:00 mornings got to stop. 3 artists, 3 testimonies, One Identity. So what we do is we take portions of the show, and I share my ministry and a couple of my songs. Lance does the same. Jessica does the same. And we come together and we do a lot of stuff together, kind of like Isaac style, the Isaacs.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Yeah. So people are really getting, a lot of music and probably an overload of testimony, but,
But we need it.
Don't go through things, not share them.
Yeah, that's what we need. Are you finding when you sing with other groups or with other folks that your voice adapts to different styles?
Yes. Yes, I don't know what it is. I don't know how that happens. But when I'm singing with Jessica and Lance, I lose all my country and I just fall in. I don't know. I don't know how that happens, but yeah, it does. So, and it just takes on a completely different sound. And it's amazing. And from the very first time we all sung together, every time we've ever sung, we got together maybe 30 minutes beforehand and said, well, what about this song? And we'd run through it and it just
It's
all
work.
fell in line. Yeah. So we're like, people are like, y'all need to go out. We're like, so we picked some select dates and we're booked a couple of times, to the end of the year. And everybody's like, well, when's your album coming out? When's your song coming out? We're not doing one right now. We're just hanging out and ministering and having a good time, and we'll see where the road leads.
Well, Lance is a good guy to be hooked up with too. And
He's a
we've
sweetheart.
we've got to get him back on pretty soon.
Yeah,
And
he's a good guy. He's a really good guy.
well, individually, all three of you people are requesting your songs here at the station. So that's good. And then you three getting together, I think that's even better.
Well, we hope people like it. We do. And if not, we're sorry. We're going to keep doing it anyway.
So what?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
say, let's talk encouragement. We still have some people out there who listen to the news every day.
right.
Don't do it, is all I can say. But what is your suggestion? I mean, there are other things you can do.
I don't even turn it on. I don't
I
even
don't
turn it
either.
on. I
And
go
it's
sit out on my,
business.
yeah. I go sit out on my patio. Sometimes I do some painting. Sometimes I go fishing. Anything that makes you happy. Because if you know that when you sit down in front of that little square box or big square box or whatever size TV you got, if you know before you sit down that you're going to be frustrated and aggravated by the time it's all over, even put yourself through that. Grab the Bible, put on The Chosen, watch some abundant TV, watch some good gospel music on YouTube, because I guarantee you the bad stuff's going to be there when you get done.
It's always going to be.
And the good stuff equips you, I think, for when you are faced with the bad stuff.
I think so
So,
too. I'm going to talk about my Aunt Elizabeth just for a second.
sure.
And she turned 100 years old last year, so she'll be 101
Wow.
in August, and still lives by herself, and remembers more than I'll ever forget. And so she was on the show. Oh, she loves coming on the show, honey.
Oh, I bet she does.
Of course, she takes it over.
I
So,
bet she does.
so I asked her on the show. I said, "How do you be as healthy as you are and remember all this stuff?" And I mean, like me, what did I have for breakfast? Let's see. And she'll just whip it right out. I mean, like, well, this is what I had for breakfast this morning. And then she'll go back and talk about something that happened 50 years ago. She does all that. She said, well, first of all, I memorize Bible verses. That's number one. And number two, she said, I do crossword puzzles instead of watching so much junk. And now she likes a little junk, but she doesn't like live on it. And so she's,
Right.
and I like to get outside. I like to go get it. And then she also flirts with my husband a lot. I think that helps too.
I think your Aunt Elizabeth has the key to success going on
Got
there.
it. She got it going on, but she is just hilarious. And so I try to model myself. She's one of my mentors, and I try to model myself after her. And she just, she said, people make it so difficult, and it does not have to be difficult. It's just really simple. Simple life's pretty good.
I agree with you. And I'm not going to say older, the more mature I become, the more I see that. And I know I've heard my parents say that, and my grandparents say that, and I just roll my eyes, but I'm there where they were. And life is completely different in this spot. And it's not, is it hard? Yes. Do we make it harder? Absolutely. Absolutely. So,
And now
and
I used to be like you. I'd roll my eyes at stuff my grandparents would say. But I remember what they said. One time my granddad said, if you weren't so busy going after it and just be still a little bit, it'll come to you.
it'll come to you. Amen.
And he was talking about the business world, because I used to be in the corporate world, and it was on a plane.
And I think that's when God used opportunities to make us slow down. And COVID did that for me.
Me too.
Not having it, but just the period of lockdown it was, I mean, for me personally, it was like God saying, okay, I got you now, pay attention, this is what's going to happen. And you're right, we just let it come to, I mean, don't quit trying and striving,
Hard work,
but
yeah.
sometimes you just got to rest, you just got to let God take over. So, and I think as human beings, that's one of the hardest things that we can do, is to just say, okay, you got it.
Mhm.
So,
Well, I'll tell you what, I wear a lot less shoe leather that way.
man, yeah.
I still like to buy shoes, but I don't wear them out.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a song, Donna, that says, the chorus is, you know, it talks about how we bring things to God, things that are on our heart and things that we're like, please take this. And, you know, before we even get up off of our knees, we're thinking about it again. But the song says, you know, bring it here to Him, lay it down, and walk away. Let Him have it. Let Him have it. So that's what I encourage people to do. And I have to look at myself in the mirror sometimes and say, you wrote it, live by it. Bring it here, bring it to God, lay it down, and walk away from it.
I've
Let Him
heard a
handle
lot
it.
of ministers say, you know, when I'm preaching, when I have my sermon, I'm actually preaching to myself. Do you find you're doing that sometimes when you write songs?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I've done some Thursday night lives where, you know, I start doing all these songs that people request, and, you know, and I'm not going to lie, I'm a very open and honest person. Some of the songs I roll my eyes at because I've never heard them. I got to learn them, or I sang them when I was little, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. That's not old, you know. And I find myself in the middle of it, just completely captivated by the words and what it's saying, and I just know that God requested that song because I needed to hear it, or somebody says something on my live feed that encourages me. You know, that happens more times than not. You know, so the Thursday night lives, I can say all I want to that it's for the people that like my music and like me and want to hear what's going on, but it's really for me because I need it. I
Mhm.
need those people, and I need their support, and I need their encouragement and their stories. And so, yeah, to answer that question in a very long way, yes.
Mhm.
So
Same here. Absolutely.
just because we minister don't mean that we don't need to be ministered
Oh,
to.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, because
So
like you're an open book and I'm an open book, you know, and I found that when sometimes I just share with people on the show, I just share things that are going on,
yeah,
you know, because
yeah,
you
absolutely.
know, because you're always afraid, oh, what are people going to think? When I stopped doing that so much, what are people going to think? It really helped my life a lot. It's a lot
Yeah.
better, a lot easier. I mean, it's just, you know,
I've gone live before and look, I didn't want to do this tonight. I was myself out of it, but I'm here. Have had a bad day, and you know, things aren't right now, but I'm going to do this anyway. And for the best, because I knew that I needed to be there, I needed to do what God wanted me to do, regardless of how my earthly flesh felt. So
but you feel like, and I've seen you perform, and maybe you were tired when you first got there, but some kind of
mhm.
energy comes on you.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's totally, it's just odd. Because if I had to, some of the times when I get up and sing, people don't, I'm not going to say people don't know, but I don't think it comes to people's minds as much when we're up there. Me and other ministers and artists and whatever you want to call us are up there. I mean, we have the same amount and type of problems that everybody has. And sometimes when we walk on that stage, we may have gotten the worst news that we've gotten in a long time. And you know, I don't know where, the only way we get through it is for God to step in and take over.
Mhm.
So, and he's had to do that on several occasions for me. And you know, you just give him praise for it.
Mhm.
You know, God, I'd rather be there right now with that person who's going through this, but you want me here right now. So I'm going to have faith that I'm supposed to be here, and this will take care of itself when it's done, when we're done here, and we'll go from there. So
let's talk for a minute about, because you'll have, okay, let's just use Facebook for an example. Okay, so you put something on Facebook and some bot, by the way, it's usually not even a real person. A bot is going to put something negative on your face. Well, that makes you want to just stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
What's your opinion about that? Just
It's,
because one person?
Yeah, I have a lot of people that are concerned. I'm going to use the word concerned. They're concerned for me because, I have spiky hair and I have holes in my jeans sometimes that I sing gospel music. And I'm like, well, maybe I need spiky hair and holes in my jeans to reach people that wouldn't normally tune into this. So, but I don't let those folks get to me,
There's no point. Like, one person may say something negative. That does not mean everybody is thinking negative.
Right.
You're going to have million to one probably. And I'm just saying that. But I think the whole idea for the enemy wants you to think, oh, everybody thinks that. No, they don't.
Yeah. You have to realize, as a person, a human, an individual, a Christian, a child of God, that is not God talking. That's Satan. And that's when you tell him to shut up, get out, give up, go away.
He's a big discourager, isn't he? He doesn't want to encourage.
He's a big old Debbie Downer is what he is.
I think so too. Girl, we got less than 2 minutes left in this segment. Time flies when I'm talking to you.
It does.
What do you want to tell the folks before you go?
I want to tell them what I've run into a lot lately, Donna, with coming to people's churches and their events and ministry. A lot of people will not even reach out to me or other artists because they're like, well, I just got a little old church and, corner of the state, whatever, and we only have 50 people, and I know we couldn't afford them, so let's don't even try. Don't ever not reach out, because we always find a way to make it work. So if you've got 50 people that need to be ministered to in your church with my testimony or Lance's testimony or Donna's testimony or something, you reach out to us anyway, because God always provides a way for us to get there in some form or fashion. So, and I want to tell people to be encouraged. Be encouraged. If you're here and you're breathing and you're getting up every day, you're here for a reason. I say, pull out the Bible, pull out your devotion, pull out whatever it is you turn to that is in correlation with God's word. And you have a nice long talk with God and you figure out what his purpose is for you. And let's get going. Let's get moving.
Yeah, don't sit down. Let's go. Well, Tonya, thank you so much for being on the show today. It's always a pleasure.
Oh, girl, thank you for inviting me. I think I'm going to see you in the fall.
Yeah, you better, girl. You better. Okay, we'll be talking to you. Folks, that's Tonya Rose. And thank you so much for requesting her music. That's awesome as well. You can always go to the website, https://icradio.media, and it's free to do. Download the apps, and you're really rocking and you're really ready to go. Okay, Tonya, thank you so much. I'll be talking to you later, girl.
All right, see ya.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, folks, we'll be back with another segment.